You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
Good morning, everybody, from Mercer Park in Princeton Junction, New Jersey. MLC Network presents the Sunoco 2023 Minor League Cricket Championship. Today's game features the New England Eagles and the Manhattan Yorkers, two teams currently sitting at the bottom of the Eastern Division table and hoping to move up quick, fast, and in a hurry with 5 games left in the season, with hopes of making the finals in just 3 weeks' time. I'm Brian Barish. Great to have you along for another beautiful morning of cricket. It is sunny. It is going to be hot. The temperature is going to be in the low 90s, and that might be one of the reasons why the New England Eagles, upon winning the toss, have elected to bat, looking to try and get a lot of runs out of this natural wicket. Both teams have played already over the course of the weekend. The Manhattan Yorkers fell right here to the Empire State Titans by 45 runs on Friday afternoon. The Titans putting up probably one of the highest scores we've seen at this ground, 156. The Manhattan Yorkers can only muster 111 for 9, and that was only after a fantastic 10th wicket stand from Chintan Patel and Nisarg Desai. Both of them will be in the lineup today for the Yorkers. For the New England Eagles, they fell to the Philadelphians by just 19 runs yesterday as part of the Philly Cricket Festival over in Hatfield, Pennsylvania. The Philadelphians getting 142 for 9 off the back of Jonathan Fu. The New England Eagles looked like they were going to get going, especially in the power play once Christopher Barnwell got started, but he could only manage 26 before he was bowled out in a fantastic bowling performance that saw Devashari Prasad pick up 4 wickets. But the focus here today on these two teams as we take a quick look at the standings. The Manhattan Yorkers, 1 win from 5 games so far, currently sitting on just 2 points, while the Eagles 2 and 3 also are just 2 points ahead of them, 1 game ahead of them on 4 points. A look at it via win percentage shows that the Philadelphians top of the table on 11 points. They are a game and a half ahead of the New Jersey Stallions, who have played 2 more games than anybody else. Same with the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, who have a record of 3 wins and 4 losses with 1 no result, thanks to a rainout not too a few weeks ago. And then you have the New England Eagles at 2 and 3, a half a game ahead of the Empire State Titans, who also fell to the Philadelphians today as part of that festival doubleheader. They're at 2 and 4. The Manhattan Yorkers 1 and 4. We'll take a look at the lineups for you in just a moment. We can tell you just one change for the New England Eagles as Hamendra Ramdahal will not have his services today. In comes Azhar Ali for Jaladua's side, and numerous changes for the Manhattan Yorkers and captain Manoj Acharya. Looks like everybody is just about on the field here. The Manhattan Yorkers wearing the royal blue, purpley looking uniforms with the yellow trim. And we're just getting a beat on who has the honors here for the out in the middle. It will be Jaladua who will be one of the two men out in the middle. You see Manoj Acharya directing traffic for the Manhattan Yorkers. So we mentioned it is going to be hotter today than it was yesterday, and it looks like Manoj Acharya will get the ball to start proceedings here at Mercer Park. As we said, 92 degrees or so. It's been this weekend. It's been relatively on the cooler side. The pitch looks in good nick, and that again is why the Eagles. It seems like more of these games that we have called, especially on these natural turf pitches this season, the teams have been more inclined to bowl. But Jaladua deciding that he wanted to go out there and test it first. So here we go. And that one sails by the off stump rather, and we are underway. Dua's out there with Apurva Maheshwaran, who yesterday was dismissed for a 5-ball duck off the bowling of Shawarma. One of two really nice catches by Jonathan Fu, wicketkeeper for the Philadelphians. And that one, well, was a little bit more of a length ball, and that one didn't really get much of a bounce to it, and that might be an indication of how this pitch is going to play. Acharya taking a look at his bowling from Friday here just for you. Took a wicket in his 4 overs with giving up 45 runs in the process. That one, too, sails by the off stump, and no play at that one. So 3 balls in this first over, no score yet. Manhattan Yorkers, a team that has really shape-shifted over the last couple of years, team that made the grand final in season 1. That one is defended more or less to the offside. They're not able to take a run. Good fielding there by the Yorkers. Lots of action around minor league cricket today. Most of it is in the South and in the Central, where those teams are playing 4 games over the course of this Labor Day weekend. And again, you see the ball not really bouncing. Acharya playing more of a length on his deliveries so far, and the ball really staying low to the wicket. In fact, that has been given as a wide. That second ball probably could have been as well, but that is our first run. And again, stays low, and now Maheshwaran's starting to get the idea that there isn't going to be much bounce to this. He's keeping his spin. He's keeping the deliveries on a pretty long length. I would say almost good to Yorker length. Another flail by Maheshwaran. Just the one wide from the over at the end of the first. It's New England 1 without loss.
What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So aside from the one wide, a pretty good opening over from Manu Acharya. And now the captain, Jala Dua, will face his first delivery of the morning. New England hoping to have come into this with a victory yesterday against the Philadelphians, playing much better this season. Appeal for a catch. And umpire Mihir Patel says no. They thought they might have caught an edge from Dua, but to no avail, as Dua playing fairly cautiously at that. This is Nisarg Desai, by the way, in bowling for the Manhattan Yorkers. Desai 1 for 31 on Friday against Empire State. Flayed off to the far side, right to the offside rather, right to a fielder, no run. Cut away by Dua. Good stop in the field to prevent any further damage, but Dua's off the mark. It's the first run off the bat for New England. We talked about how the Titans did batting first on this ground on Friday, putting up 156. This is a ground that generally plays a little bit more towards the spin bowlers. Goes with the sweep, does Maheshram. They'll get one. They'll get two out of this outfield. Good running between the wickets from the two in the middle. That takes them on the 4 with 2 balls left in the second over. Maheshram this season, 51 runs so far. His second year with the New England Eagles. Dua, former member of the Empire State Titans, on 75 runs in his 6th match of the campaign. Maheshram comes down the track a little bit. He's got 1. 2 is the call. And a good throw would have put them in trouble. But 2 more runs added to the total. Check that, 1 more run added to the total. So a decent over though from Desai, having given up just the 4 runs. Straight drive down the ground. Fielder comes around and fields it. That's the end of the second over. The Eagles are 6 without loss.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So our first change of bowling in the Empire State innings, it will be Ruchir who will come into play. We mentioned Maheshram going for a 5-ball duck yesterday. Dua top scored with 27. And that ball is wide, so an auspicious start for Ruchir. And the Eagles yesterday only making 123. A good fight back by the Philadelphians to claim their 5th victory of the season. That one is high up in the air, but it's over the drawn-in infield. They're going to get 2 relatively easily. Good job by Maheshram. And that is a power play double right there. If it was any other part of the game, you would think they would have at least a fielder in there in that position to have a crack at making that catch. Big swing by Maheshram, and good ball there by Ruchir Joshi. Joshi, one of those cross-conference transfers, played for East Bay Blazers and Golden State Grizzlies the last 2 seasons. That's a catch. It is. Got a thick edge and right into the wicketkeeper. And that is the first wicket as Joshi strikes. Maheshram has to go right into the wicketkeeper's hands of Hiran Patel. As you see it again, Joshi coming in. It was a short length ball, just caught the top of the bat right around the collar, and your hole washed clean and right into the hands of the wicketkeeper, and that is the first wicket. New England are 8 for 1. Rizwan Mazhar is the 3rd man in for the New England Eagles. Mahar was caught and bowled by Devi Prasad yesterday for 10. And we'll take a look at his numbers in just a moment for Ruchir Joshi. That is his 2nd wicket of the season. Was good for about 1 wicket a match the last 2 seasons, 8 and 7 playing on the West Coast. But the early change has done wonders as they remove one of the openers. Joshi to continue. Ball goes down the leg side for a wide. Mahar thought about poking at that one for a minute, giving it the perfunctory poke, so to speak. And that's the 2nd extra by Ruchir Joshi. And that one also as a wide, this time going for good measure, going down the offside. So Joshi trying to find, this has been an interesting over for him. Wide, 1, dot, wicket, wide, wide. And Mazhar yet to face a legal delivery. Same spot almost, but a little bit more closer to the wicket. And this time, that is a legal delivery. Mahar so far on the season, and this is third year with the Eagles, 96 runs in this his 5th innings. Deflected to the offside. They'll take a run off of that. Looked like he made his mind up at the last minute in terms of what he wanted to do. And so Mazhar is off the mark. 11 for 1. Well, this has been a very good first half of the power play for the Manhattan Yorkers. And if you recall yesterday, the Eagles got off to a pretty slow start in the power play against Philly before Chris Barnwell came to the crease and took out his scimitar. That one also cut away, but right to a fielder, playing that one very well. That's the end of over number 3. New England are 11 for 1. So Apurva Maheshwaram tallying just 5 runs before being caught behind by Hiran Patel. That's the only breakthrough so far. Dua and Mazhar in the middle. And you see 4 wides so far conceded by Yorkers bowling. Joshi giving up just 2 runs off the bat to go with 3 wides, but he did take that important wicket. Here's Desai, who will continue from the far end. Right through the fielder on at mid, I was going to say short leg. And Mazhar goes to 2. Dua, one of the openers, has only faced 4 legal deliveries so far. Dua pushes forward to the offside, no run. The Eagles, the last 2 seasons, have finished in last of what was then a 7-team Eastern Division, with DC becoming the Baltimore Royals and moving south. It's now 6 teams. Dua opens up past the fielder. They'll come through for a run. 13 for 1. And with 3 teams now instead of just 2 making the finals, every team is in it and every game is magnified, but these 2 teams wanting a win to stay in touch. Defensive shot by Rizwan. Swing and a miss, stumping attempt there by Hiran Patel, but I don't think Rizwan really moved his feet enough for that to happen, but just making him think about it a little bit. And if you're relatively new to cricket, it's essentially almost like a pickoff play in baseball, except with the batter. Ali opens up and slaps it to the offside. Misfield there. They'll get a run out of that. That was Chintan Patel, who failed to get a paw on it.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Here's a look at the Atlantic Conference standings. And at the bottom part, you see the Eastern Division, the Philadelphians with 4 points from 2 games yesterday, going to the top ahead of the idle New Jersey Stallions. Cavaliers on 7 points, also idle. As that one sails behind. May have gotten a thick edge on it. They'll come through for another run. That was Azhar. So the reason for the confusion there, that is Azhar Ali, who is out in the middle of the ground. We said it was Rizwan, but it is Azhar Ali, who is the lone inclusion into this for the New England Eagles. So beg your indulgence there. On the pads, loud appeal from Joshi, but the umpire says no to that. So we mentioned Joshi, 2 wickets now this season, 7 in 2022, 5 in 2021. So we said he's good for about a wicket a game. This one is high in the air. The fielders converge. One of them runs in, and it is Joshi who takes the catch off his own bowling, and the captain departs, having made just 2 runs. And we said Joshi is good for a wicket a match. Well, he just picked up his 2nd. And the New England Eagles have lost 2, now both of their openers within the power play. So we see it once again. Got way, way too much air underneath of it. And Joshi shuffles to his left. And one of the easiest catches he'll take. And New England now 15 for 2. You saw Dua get a little bit too much under the ball. I think he was trying to chip that over the drawn-in infield because of the power play, but way too much air. And he has to go. And now it's up to Christopher Barnwell, who is making his debut this weekend. He played, of course, was a part of the T10 Masters down in Florida. And yesterday got off to a rollicking start, hitting 3 6s and a 4 before being dismissed for 26. And what appeared to be an innings-changing knock before the Philadelphians' attack clamped down and went on to win by 19. So it's Barnwell on the far side, and he'll face with Azhar Ali on 4. And Joshi with 3 more balls in his 2nd over. Barnwell thinking about it, but then pulling the bat away. As Joshi continues this really, really solid over from him. Again, Barnwell looking to defend the wicket, and the ball sailing wide. Not given as a wide, just sailing wide. 1 more ball left in this Joshi over, and New England yesterday, as we said, running into all sorts of issues before Barnwell came in. They were 29 for 2 after 5 yesterday, and they are nowhere near that in this game after electing to bat. Barnwell drives it forward. Going to be close on the striker's end, but Ali was there in time. Barnwell will keep the strike heading into the 6th over after 5. New England are 16 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Final over of the power play upcoming. And Christopher Barnwell has the strike, and this is where he really kind of threw things into another gear yesterday. We mentioned 29 after the first 5 overs of the power play yesterday before Barnwell hit 2 6s and a 4 as part of a 17-run over to put the Eagles in what seemingly was a good position to chase things down as Acharya comes back into the attack. Good stop there by the man in the slip by Deep Patel. Or Deep Jossi, beg your pardon. As it eluded Hiran Patel. He's already taken 1 dismissal today. Driven down the ground, but fielder long on comes around. A couple of good balls by Manoj Acharya. Captain's really done really well to help keep this Yorkers team together. Another defensive shot. Well bowled by Manoj. These two teams will play each other next weekend, next Sunday, right back here at Mercer Park. If you're in the area, we invite you to come out, which should be a fantastic day's cricket. One of 2 matches on the day, with the Philadelphians playing the Empire State Titans in the morning. Barnwell defends to the leg side this time. Still 4 dot balls. And if the Yorkers can hold the Eagles to 16 runs. This is not a pitch that has yielded a whole lot of runs. Of course, you remember the Philadelphians being bowled out for 51 and the Yorkers on this ground only making 39. And he is bowled. And we talked about Acharya and how well he was placing things, and he has clean bowled Christopher Barnwell. So the man who went rampant yesterday against Philly could only muster 1 run, and New England is in all sorts of strife at 16 for 3. What a ball by the captain. You could tell that he really was been picking his spots, and you could sense that a mistake was coming from Barnwell, and there it is, the breakthrough. As we see it one more time, Acharya coming over the wicket and right through the gate, castling the man in Barnwell. New England 16 for 3, 1 ball left in the power play. Such a good ball from Manoj Acharya to dismiss arguably one of the most dangerous players in this New England side. And he has only allowed 1 run in his nearly 2 overs of work today. And the only run he gave up was a wide in the first over. Sushin Modi will now join Azhar Ali in the middle. As we check the numbers on Acharya, that is his 5th wicket of the season. As we said, just the 1 run that he has allowed was a extra. And we have some discussion going on out here. As we said, it's going to be hot today. Of course, tomorrow there won't be any games around here, but it's going to be hotter tomorrow. It's going to be about 95 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. But so far, it's getting there. You can feel a little bit of the heat in the air starting to, excuse me, impress a little bit. All right, so the delay here is that they are actually missing the bail, or missing one of the bails. We're going to look at it again. The ball hits leg stump. You see the ball is dismissing. All right, it looks like it bounces to the right. It looks like it bounces off to the right. So I would look probably where that helmet is. They did find it. Almost literally like looking for a needle in a haystack there, but that's also not something you want to accidentally come upon when you are behind the wicket. So 1 more ball left in this over, and let's put it this way. It gave us another chance to look at that great dismissal by Acharya. So Sudamoni will step in from the right side and finish out this power play, which has been way productive for the team in the field. And this one has gone behind, and it's going to roll all the way for a 4, and that is the first boundary of the game. And so something salvaged from the New England Evils from the power play. But they are 3 down at the end of 6. New England are 20 for 3. So Sushin Modi gets the first boundary of this innings for New England. As we said, it came at the end of the power play. As we take a look at it one more time. And this one just flicked off the legs, down the fine leg. And as we said, the first boundary. Modi, by the way, taking a look at him yesterday, or Modani, beg your pardon, was dismissed early. In fact, he was the second man dismissed, 5 runs from just 8 deliveries. Sushan Modani. But here's Azhar Ali to face Deep Joshi. Hit straight to a fielder, no run. Joshi coming on, Deep Joshi coming on for the first time. He bowled his 4 overs against Manhattan, or check that, against Empire State on Friday. He was 2 for 13. Right arm over the wicket. Poke to the offside, no run. New England's projected score at this juncture is just 64 runs. But as we said before, this is a Manhattan Yorkers team that wasn't able to chase down 51 against the Philadelphians on this field, so take all that with a grain of salt. But if you're the Manhattan Yorkers, you have to be very, very, very impressed with how this has gone so far. Sails outside and flails does Azhar Ali. Deep Joshi playing with the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. Previously, played in just 1 match last season. Didn't get into the bowling figures. Before that, 1 wicket in his 1 appearance. Defended, pushed forward, and again, no run. Good over from Deep Joshi. And so far in this, his 2nd innings of play, his 2nd innings of bowling, has notched 2 wickets. 2 balls left in the 7th over. Cut away, but not far enough to score. And again, Joshi keeps him off the scoreboard. Very, very good bowling here. And if you're Manu Acharya, other than the 1 wicket you took yourself, very impressed with the rest of this bowling attack through the first 7 overs. And again, just 1 boundary. Flick to the onside, spoiling the maiden for Deep Joshi. He does, however, just give up the 1 run. 7 complete. New England are 21 for 3.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Taking a quick look at the Dauphin's out-of-town scoreboard, you think that New England has it bad, having given up 3 wickets rather. The Baltimore Royals have lost 3 within the first 4 overs against Fort Lauderdale. Batting first, the Royals are 11 for 3 against the Fort Lauderdale Lions. The Royals leading second in the Southern Division. And down in Texas, the Dallas Mustangs and Chicago Kingsmen are underway. Dallas are 13 without loss in the 3rd over. Chintan Patel comes into the attack. And a dot ball off the bat of Azhar Ali. Another good ball there to the man in that sort of slip cover region. This is, as we said, it's proved to be a very difficult pitch to read. But the Eagles, in trying to get out in front of that, good defense by Ali there. I think that also may have come up a little bit over the pads on the deflection. But another good delivery from Chintan Patel. And again, outside of off stump. Here in Patel trying for the stumping, but Azhar Ali back in time. Yorkers next week, I think, have that same schedule where they're playing Empire State again. Big swing and a miss. And Ali trying on an inside-out stroke and sails by his bat. So once again, for the second over in a row, 5 consecutive dot balls to start it. And that one pushed to the offside, and there is a maiden. Chitin Patel with a maiden over. At the end of 8, New England 21 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Some pretty good bowling figures so far for the Manhattan Yorkers. Ruchir Joshi taking 2 for 7. Both of them in the same over. And Manoj Acharya, the captain, getting the big fish in Christopher Barnwell. As Deep Patel continues from the commentary end. I'm sorry, Deep Joshi, my apologies. Joshi giving up the 1 run in his first over. Now he's given up a second. So it's interesting to see how each of these teams builds their bowling attack in this T20 setup. And push to the offside. They're going to get another run out of this. And Modani gets through on time, and he'll take the strike. The bowling and perhaps this pitch has not really allowed the Eagles batters to swing as freely as they did yesterday, although bear in mind yesterday they played on an AstroTurf wicket. And if you remember back in the 70s and the 80s when they played baseball on that sort of thing, a lot of lively bounces. And you're not going to see a whole lot of that here. The pitch doing a lot. They are, however, going to get another run off of this, Will Modani. So 3rd consecutive single off of Deep Joshi. Modani on 6, Azhar Ali on 6. Right now, those are the joint high scorers. This one high in the air. Caught by Dinesh Patel. And Ali has to go, and they are 4 down, are the New England Eagles. They do not have an answer for this Manhattan Yorkers attack as Deep Joshi gets his first wicket. And New England now 24 for 3, 24 for 4. And this one was a golf shot. And Patel right in front of us shuffled over a few feet to his right and took a very, very calm catch right in the breadbasket. So they are 4 down within the 9th over. And you have to ask what kind of answers they're going to have here. But remember, we've seen lower order heroics in the past. That shot by Azhar Ali would look really good on the 3rd at Cobb's Creek. But here at Mercer Park, well, there is a golf course behind us. It would probably look good at that particular golf course, too. But holes out to Dinesh Patel. So Amit Patil, the new man in, and he'll get off the mark immediately. Very interesting over for Deep Joshi, 1-1-1, wicket 1. Amit Patil yesterday faced just 2 balls and scored 1 run. He was called upon a little bit later on than he is today. A bouncer that got up right in his breadbasket. The Patil is appealing for a no ball in height, or rather a wide. But he isn't getting it. Great over from Deep Joshi. He gives up 4, takes the wicket, 25 for 4 New England after 9. So the last over of the first half of this New England innings. And it's been all Manhattan Yorkers, having taken 4 wickets through the first 9. And Sushant Modani will come to the strike with 6 runs off of 4 balls. Pushed to the offside, but not far enough to where they can get a run off of it. Off the bowling of Chintan Patel, who will continue after a maiden in his first over. Modani, a man who knows how to score runs. And this time he opens up, but doesn't get a whole lot of distance through the ground, and another good ball from Chintan Patel. This time does find the gap. And Modani takes a run off of it. (26 for 4). Just looking at how they've gone over by over. We'll do that in just a moment for you. Oh, that was close. That was close. Kind of a alligator arm flail at that one by Modani. That was Patil, by the way, who got the run just before. But a good ball by Chintan Patel. That was his first run that he's given up, by the way. And another dot. The most runs they have gotten off of an over is 5. They've done that twice so far, and 3 of those, and that was in the third over off of Ruchir Joshi. This one goes behind the wicket. They'll get a run out of that one as Amit Patil lost his footing. They couldn't have gone for a second one, I don't think, anyway. So 2 runs off the over from Chintan Patel. We are halfway through the New England innings. They are 27 for 4. Well, the story of the first 10 overs is on your screen there. Three wickets within the power play, and the 2 openers dismissed for not a whole heck of a lot. Mahesh Ram gone for 5, Dua gone for 2, Azhar Ali 6, and Christopher Barnwell, who might be the linchpin of this side, dismissed for just 1. And Sushant Madani's 7, his top score at the moment. Here's Dinesh Patel, who took that nice catch right in front of us. And he is greeted with a cut to the offside for no run. Dinesh Patel, a under 21 selection. Has a fair bit of experience, having played last year for this Yorker side. And he has to go. That was a very, very soft dismissal. But Patel has his first wicket, and Madani is the 5th victim. And he is the top scorer with 7, but unfortunately he's back on his way to the dugout. Here it is again. And right back to the bowler. Didn't get a whole heck of a lot on it, but a good job by Dinesh Patel, and now New England are 27 for 5. That was whisper soft right back to Dinesh, who had the reaction time to make the catch there. And so Sushant Madani not making the impact he would like to. He does have the only boundary of this innings for New England. So it's Gaurav Grover who will come in at number 7 for the New England Eagles. Grover 2 not out yesterday, having faced just 2 deliveries. He was in the middle when he's the only of the 11 New England Eagles yesterday not to be dismissed in that 19-run loss. This one is hit in the air. 2 players converge. Oh, and 3 of them converge, but just out of the hands. That was a good effort there by the man in Nurmouth. But they will get a run out of that. That one, again, just trying to chip that one up over the top and got a little bit too much air. But Grover is off the mark and perhaps a little bit lucky to still be in the middle. We've seen a couple of near ones there, but the Yorkers so far have been incredibly efficient. Straight drive down the ground. Manoj Acharya comes round and fields that one at long off rather. Another run for Patil. Goes to 3 off of 5. Defensive shot to the onside. They'll take 1 run from it. And the Yorkers content to keep the Eagles to singles here and there. Patel with 1 ball remaining in his first over. And we were looking at Dinesh Patel, who took 2 wickets last season. His third. And that ends the over.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
New England, they are slowly collapsing like a flan in a cupboard. They're now 30 for 6. Here it is again, coming forward, and this one, well, he didn't have to move. Right in his pocket. He could have caught that in his pocket if he really wanted to. And once again, another chip and another dismissal as Patil has to go. Now that's the end of the 11th over. They are 30 for 6. Here was the first delivery. Dinesh had to do, I think the verdict on that one is Dinesh Patel had to do a little bit more work on the first one than this second one. He didn't even have to take a step. So 2 wickets for Dinesh Patel. He is 2 for 3 after 1 over. Those are fantastic numbers. The Sarg Desai comes back into the attack for Manhattan. And Tiwari, Samarth Tiwari is now in the middle alongside Gaurav Grover. And once again, 5 runs has been the high water mark as this one is driven but no run scored. 5 runs in the second off of Desai, 5 runs off of Ruchir Joshi in the third, and that's been it. This one's hit in the air, and this one is going to go all the way, and that's another 4, the second 4 of the innings, and boy, they needed that like a cool drink of water on a very hot day just like this. It's Gaurav Grover who gets it, and he goes on to 6. An inward bouncing delivery as that one started on the offside and bounced in towards the stumps. And let's see if 1 brings 2, kind of the reverse wicket psychology. Driven back, but no run. The only other boundary in this so far as Grover pushes at that one, no run, was Sushant Madani, who is which again, he is the top scorer on 7. It's been that day so far for the Eagles. Pushes at that one, but Patel not able to hang on. And that ends the over. Just the boundary off of the bowling of Desai at the end of 12. New England are 34 for 6.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Dinesh Patel, off of his 2-wicket over, will continue. Bowling to Samarth Tiwari. Yesterday scored 5 against the Philadelphians. He had to get low to play a defensive shot. Again, defensive, and this time to the offside, no run. We mentioned the Eagles coming into this game with a record of 2-3 with a win would even it up. But they're going to have a very difficult hill to climb against this Manhattan Yorkers team. And another good delivery from Dinesh Patel. The Eagles, just to recap, won the toss, elected to bat first, and perhaps getting an idea of what this will do when it's their turn for them to bowl. Another cut shot, but again, right to a fielder. Three men on the offside for New England. And pushes at that one and makes no contact. Great bowling by Dinesh Patel here. And Manhattan, if they can win, again, they've had just one win. If they could win, they will stay very much in this playoff race. And that one, too, sails by. A maiden by Dinesh Patel. His figures after 2 overs are 2 for 3, 13 complete. New England 34 for 6. There's the Manhattan chart for the New England Eagles. Bit ironic since they're playing the Manhattan Yorkers, but that's okay. And we mentioned the second and third overs have been the best. And we mentioned that third over included 3 wides. But since then, they've gotten the 4 3 times, 2 maiden overs, the 8th and the 13th, and that's been it. So Deep Joshi, who has one of those 6 wickets, will bowl to Grover. And this one is hit, and hit well. And that one is going all the way for a maximum, and that is the first for New England, and Grover now becomes the top scorer on 12. A very sweet swing by Gaurav Grover. And boy, they need boundaries, and they get one there at a very opportune time. His 5th of this series. A good comeback by Deep Joshi. Here's the 6 again. Not a whole lot of backswing to it, but a lot of follow-through. And that one lines up halfway back to Philadelphia. I think Philly's in that direction. Gaurav Grover, 50 runs an average of 16.67. A strike rate coming in of exactly 100. That one goes behind square, no run. So just giving you an idea as to what New England has left after today in just a moment. Whoop. That is a high bouncer. It goes all the way away. The length of the grass is going to stop that from being a 4. And that is going to go down as 2 wides. That would have been high to Shaquille O'Neal. And Joshy coming in a little bit short, perhaps. 2 more to the total, though, for the New England Eagles. And this has been their, even just off that 1-6, that was enough to make it their highest scoring over, but that now just adds to it. As we said, we were going to glance at the Eagles' schedule. Next Sunday, right back here against Manhattan. And again, this one a little bit better on length and just got a thick edge to the outside, to the offside rather, no run. So they play next Sunday against Manhattan. They face the Philadelphians next Monday morning. And then Sunday the 16th, a home and home up in Glenville and Schenectady against the Empire State Titans to finish off their campaign. And that may very well have very strong playoff implications. Swing and a miss behind, but it'll be given as a wide as it went too far down leg side. So an expensive over for Joshy, who is now given up 9 off of it, including 3 extras. The scorecard here, that is the 7th wide. And extras are now joint second in scoring for New England so far. Good ball by Joshy. Defended by Tawari. Tawari still looking to get off the mark, having faced 8 balls. Final ball of the 14th over coming up. On this hot early September Labor Day weekend. Hope you're enjoying the cricket, not only with us, but all the other games that are happening across minor league cricket this weekend as we hot up towards the finals. Defended, but just to the offside. So an expensive over from Joshy, a 6 and 3 wides, 14 complete here at Mercer Park. New England 43 for 6.
What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
You saw the match summary there and all the action happening on the right side of that, although Gaurav Grover has now rocketed to 12. As Ruchir Joshi will come back into the attack, having taken 2 for 7. And that one is pushed to the offside. They'll take a run off of that one, and now the run's starting to come a little bit more frequently for the men from New England. Joshy 2 overs so far, 2 for 7. As we mentioned, coming from the West Coast, having played for Golden State Grizzlies and East Bay Blazers. And it's very interesting when we do see players come across. I feel like we're seeing a lot of that more now with Major League Cricket and with players who are being based in the 6 cities. And you see them, a good example was a couple of players, Milan Kumar, the captain of the Philadelphians, having gone from Philadelphia to Lone Star Athletics since he plays for Texas Super Kings. Swipe behind, but will be given as a wide by the umpire. So another extra, and that is the 8th wide. So they are now 45 for 6. And in the same spot again, and that one, he might have gotten a touch on that one. That is going all the way to fine leg. It will be stopped before it gets to the rope, however, and that's 2 more runs. So Tawari gets off the mark now with his first 2, and New England now, in the last 2 overs, have scored a pretty hefty percentage of their runs, getting 9 in the last one and already on 4 after 2 legal deliveries. Oh, just hung his back down in front of it and perhaps a bit lucky not to have feathered an edge onto the keeper. Umpire, that's Colin Edwards, who is on the commentary side. Mahir Patel, who we saw yesterday in Hatfield. And that one is poked to the offside. They'll take off for a run. A good throw perhaps puts Grover in trouble, but they'll get one off of it. It's now 48 for 6 with 2 balls left off the Joshy over. We talked about the Eagles' schedule. Their home ground essentially has been in Schenectady, which isn't terribly far from their base in Hartford, where they've been playing the last couple of seasons. Schenectady. That one is hit towards the onside and all the way to the rope, but it'll be stopped for 1. That's the end. 1 more left, rather. 49 for 6. Yeah, up in the Albany Capital region, but it's not. They had been playing in the Hartford area the last couple of seasons. Oh, that one kept low. There's an appeal for leg before, and it's been given. That ball kept really low. We had seen no bounce at all, no height at all after the bounce in the early going, but that one completely bamboozled Tawari, and he has trapped LBW, and New England are 7 down as Joshy gets his 3rd. Here it is again. Watch this one. It's going to hug the ground like a teddy bear. Just kept nice and low, and right there, that is absolutely plumb. And so Joshy has 3 to his name, and after 15, New England are 49 for 7. Joshi becomes the leading bowler for the Manhattan Yorkers, 3 for 13. See Dinesh Patel with the fantastic numbers, 2 for 3, and a maiden from his 2 overs. And that has been really the story of this first innings. As now we see Rizwan Mazhar, who we thought we had seen a little bit earlier. But Grover going on at just over a run a ball, 14 off 13. He has the only 6 and one of only 2 4s in this match so far for New England. Manoj Acharya to come back for his 3rd. That one is golfed up in the air and safe, and that one is going to run all the way to the boundary for another 4. And once again, Gaurav Grover doing Gaurav Grover things, and that is his 2nd 4. And Manoj Acharya, who had seemingly had his way in his first 2 overs, is greeted with a boundary. Grover playing that one nice and sweetly. That is the 50 up finally for New England. In the 16th over, this one is hit high in the air. There's going to be a chance at this one. And he makes the catch and just stays in play. And so 4 and out for Gaurav Grover. He is the top scorer for now, but he has to go. And Acharya has his 2nd scalp. He goes to 2 for 9. And New England now 53 for 8. The replay once again, just a little bit too much of a toe edge off of that one, and just in deep mid-wicket, the catch was made, and Grover has to go. 53 for 7. So Maui Pali will come in at number 10 after Ruchin Joshi's catch of Gaurav Grover off the bowling of Manoj Acharya. Maui Pali did bat yesterday against Philadelphia. He came in a little bit earlier, but was dismissed by Raj Nadan off of 3 for 3 off of 8. Block shot to the offside, and another dot ball for Manoj Acharya, who 4 wicket, and then a dot. Couple of dots. And again to the offside, but straight into a fielder. 1 ball remaining in this 16th over. Nikhil Maui Pali in his 10th game in that we have here. He is playing in his 3rd game of the season. 14 runs total coming in. Pushed back through the box, through the bowler. And that ends the 16th over. 4 and a wicket. That's all New England gets. 16 complete. They're 53 for 8.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So a lot brighter looking of a Manhattan chart than a few overs ago. Their two of their three biggest overs have occurred in the 14th and the 15th. For the New England Eagles, they're 53 for 8, which a lot more better of an outlook than was 5 overs ago. But Manhattan still has 4 more overs to get 2 more wickets. And then they'll have the job of batting on this pitch. Pitch that has a fair bit of demons in it, really, for both bowler and batter. So Rizwan Mazhar will face Chintan Patel, who has given up just 2 runs in 2 overs so far, which is, you can excuse the fact that he hasn't taken a wicket yet when you've only given up 2 runs. Bat then pad on that one, goes to the offside, no run, and once again Chintan Patel with a maiden earlier. Shorter delivery, and this one is chopped to the offside, and they'll take another run. So Rizwan Mazhar is off the mark. And now bring Mali Pally to the strike. We'll tell you about the Manhattan Yorkers' run home in just a moment. Defended. No run. The Yorkers will play the Empire State Titans on Saturday before their return encounter with the Eagles here on Sunday. And then they'll finish up here at Mercer County Park against the 2 New Jersey teams. That one, good stop, at least a good block there by Chintan Patel. Was able to keep it from going back, and that saves a run. Just to finish the thought, the Yorkers have the Cavaliers on Saturday the 16th, and we'll have the Stallions here on the 17th. And again, if you're in the Trenton, Philadelphia area, come out to Mercer Park for a fantastic couple of days of cricket. Drops his bat on the ball there, and another dot. Just 1 run off this over so far by Chintan Patel. He has been incredibly tight in terms of his bowling. That's one of the reasons why the Yorkers are in the position that they are in. Final ball of the over. And again, another Yorker and another defend. 1 run off the over by Chintan Patel. 17 in the books. New England, 54 for 8. Manoj Acharya coming back for his fourth and final over, having taken 2 for 9. And off the shoulder of Mazhar. No run. And it's been that kind of day for the New England Eagles, slightly painful. But Acharya, not only in his bowling, but also in his positioning of the players, his selection in terms of the bowling attack. And he opens this one up. This is going to drop in between a couple of fielders. A good stop made out there in the outfield. And Mazhar looking to turn on the jetpack towards the end of this innings. Well, they only got 1 run off of it. That brings Maui Pali to the strike. Acharya is going to have his pick of the litter in terms of the final couple of overs as we see it once again. He opened up his stance and got good wood on it. And there's the attempt in the outfield, probably just a foot or so in front of him, but a good effort nonetheless. And that one gets by the wicketkeeper. They're going to take 1 and look to take 2. And we'll keep an eye on Mihir Patel. Those will go down as leg buys. But they count towards the total all the same. They won't count towards Maui Pali's total. He is still showing a big old donut next to a cruller. I think that's what a figure 8 is, what that's shaped like. Well, now it's a 9. Maui Pali drops the bat down on that one, and that one skitters by Hiran Patel. And they will take 1 off of that, and now Maui Pali is off the mark. 4 conceded by Manoj Acharya. As we said, Misarj Desai has an over left. Ruchir Joshi, Deep Joshi, Chintan Patel, they all have an over left. Dinesh Patel has 2 left. Wouldn't be surprised to see Dinesh Patel bowl the 18th and the 20th. But plenty of options when you have a 6-man rotation. Big swing and a miss, an appeal for caught behind, but not heeded by Mihir Patel. Our umpires, very respected, very good umpires here in this Eastern Circuit. As we mentioned, we saw Mihir yesterday in Philly and his normal jovial self. Final ball of the over. Big swing, and Patel had to make a stop there. Oh, there's a mix-up. There's going to be a run-out. There was a mix-up as Maui Pali went, and Mazhar did not. The ball got by Hiran Patel, but not that far enough, and so a bit of a comical mix-up there, as it was sort of a no, yes, or actually Mazhar did not want to go. Maui Pali did. We're going to see it once again. The ball gets by very slightly, and by the time Mazhar was wise as to what was happening, the ball was already down at the other end, and the wicket broken. And so you don't want to throw away wickets here, especially in the death, but that's exactly what the New England Eagles have done. And after 18, they are 58 for 9. Baran Saeed is in at number 11 for the New England Eagles as they are down to their final 2 with 12 balls remaining, and And it will be Chintan Patel to finish off his 4th over. And a good, again, the ball keeping relatively low, and Saeed, or check that, Malipali. The book on final line on Acharya, 2 for 11. That one dug out of the dirt and right back to Chintan Patel. 2 for 11. Very good afternoon by Manoj Acharya, and really across this entire Manhattan Yorkers bowling attack, and we've said it multiple times. Opens up and chunks that to the offside. Going to be close, but I think he got back. Chintan had to get low to field that one. And Saeed is off the mark, and Rizwan Mazhar, just a correction there. It was Malipali who was run out and not Mazhar. So it is Mazhar who stays in on the far side. He opens up and slaps this one down to the offside, but to the onside rather, but it gets by. They're not able to take advantage of the misfield. So 2 balls remaining and then 1 final over. Just 1 off of this one so far as Mazhar keeps it. And that one belted down. And the man at long off comes over and fields, and now they've brought up 60. Now, we had mentioned it before. We'll talk about it in just a moment. It is a left-hand bowl. And that one is pushed to the offside, and that ends the 19th over. Patel surrenders 2. He finishes his day on none for 5 off of 4 overs. Incredibly economical over appearance from him. With 1 over to go, New England 60 for 9.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
So Ruchir Joshi will come in to bowl the 20th and final over, with Mazhar on 3 off of 8 standing in, and the Eagles trying to squeeze as many runs out of this innings as they can before having to do the deed against this Yorker side. And we do have to bring it up that it was here on August 19th that the Yorkers bowled out the Philadelphians for 51, but in turn were only held for 38 in 15.2 overs. Big swing, no contact. By Rizwan. Five balls to go. A little bit of a breeze kind of filtering through our commentary position. A little bit. Ah, there we go. That's a lot better. We said this is the hottest day of the weekend so far. It's been very temperate, very, very much in the 70s and the low 80s. It's gotten up into the 90s today. That one is crushed. Absolutely crushed. 1 bounce and over for a 4. And Mazhar hits the 4th boundary of the 4th 4 of this innings for New England, and that will give them a little bit of breathing room. He had eyes for that one all the way, just stepped into a good length ball and belts that one out towards the tree line end. Had the notion again, and that time I think he got more of the pitch than he did the ball. Might need to check and make sure he didn't leave a divot. 64 for 9, New England. And Manhattan Yorkers. What can they do in reply? We'll find out in just a little bit. Still 3 more balls left. Yorker length, almost Yorker full. Probably would have hit the base of the stumps had Rizwan not swung at that. 2 balls left. He said this is the only game in the Eastern Division today. Lots of games happening across the South and in the Central Division, and a couple happening out in the West. This Labor Day weekend, spectacular. Oh, that one is belted, but did he get enough? No, he didn't. That one is caught in the deep, and that will do it for the New England Eagles. As Rizwan tried to go downtown, but he was cut off at the pass. Joshi has his 4th wicket. He ends on 4 for 17, and New England all out for 64. I thought he got a whole lot of that, but he may have hit that to the deepest part of the oval. And the catch made nicely there by Shallow. Hiram Shallow, who that's the first time we've called his name. So they come 1 ball short of the regulation 20 overs. And New England Eagles, a rough day at the office offensively for them, bowled out for 60. We take a look at the scorecard. Gaurav Grover, top scorer with 18. He was the only one out of double digits. The second highest scorer, that extras column right there, 8 wides, 2 leg bys. And you'd think if the bowling had been a little bit straighter, that would have been a little bit more rougher of a total offensively. But Rizwan on 7 goes down as the second top human scorer. And 64. So the Manhattan Yorkers target is 65. The run rate is 3.25 as we take a look at a fantastic bowling sheet for the Manhattan Yorkers. Led by Ruchir Joshi's 4 for 17. Manoj Acharya 2 for 11. How about Dinesh Patel? 2 for 3 from 2 overs and a maiden. Chintan Patel, the most economical of the lot. None for 5 with a maiden off of 4 overs. Wow, wow, wow. Deep Joshi took the other wicket. And Nisar Desai bowled well. None for 12. So the Manhattan Yorkers will need 65 if they want to do it. They have struggled at times on this pitch. Will they do it, or will the New England Eagles hang on to the victory and get back to 500? Those questions will be answered when we return for the run chase by the Manhattan Yorkers. You're watching the 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship here on the MLC Network. Here we go. And that one sails by. That's a catch. It is. Got a thick edge. He's good for about a wicket a game. This one is high in the air. The fielders converge. One of them runs in, and it is Joshi who takes the catch off his own bowling. The Yorkers on this ground only making 39, and he is bowled. And we talked about Acharya and how well he was placing things, and he has clean. And this one has gone behind, and it's going to roll all the way for a 4, and that is the first boundary of the game. High scorers. This one high in the air. Caught by Dinesh Patel, having played last year for this Yorker side. And he has to go. 2 wickets last season. His 3rd This one's hit in the air, and this one is going to go all the way, and that's another 4, the second 4 of the innings, and boy, they needed that. Grover. And this one is hit, and hit well. And that one is going all the way for a maximum, and that is... Oh, that one kept low. There's an appeal for leg before, and it's been given. That one is golfed up in the air and safe, and that one is going to run all the way to the boundary for another 4. And once again, Gaurav Grover in the 16th over. This one is hit high in the air. There's going to be a chance at this one, and he makes the catch and just stays in play. Yourself. Final ball of the over. Big swing, and Patel had to make a stop. Oh, there's a mix-up. There's going to be a run out. There was a mix-up as it's gotten up into the 90s today. That one is crushed. Absolutely crushed. One bounce and over. Oh, that one is belted, but did he get enough? No, he didn't. That one is caught in the deep, and that...
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
Welcome back to Mercer Park in Princeton Junction, New Jersey, for the chase as the Manhattan Yorkers need all of 65 runs to claim victory here against the New England Eagles. It's a task that seems straightforward on paper, but they don't play these matches on paper. That would be a completely different sport altogether. Brian Barish here with you. Glad to have your company. Hope you'll settle in and watch this attempt by the Manhattan Yorkers to pick up their second victory of this Sunoco Minor League Champion. Let's try it again. Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship season for 2022. Again, the Eagles trying to hang on and even their record at 3-3. You see the captain there and wicketkeeper Jawad Dua. Everybody's in place, all is in readiness, and we are set to go. And they'll be bowling towards us, and it will be Christopher Barnwell who will get the ball to start proceedings and administer the first heartbeat of this innings. That's Pranav Chettipalayam, who will be on strike to start things off. And Dinesh Patel on the other end. Umpire Mihir Patel trying to get the attention of the scorers. He's ready, they're ready, and so are we. And here's Barnwell. Full toss, cut away, carved away to the offside. Not able to get a run off of it. So now here is Dinesh Patel, who did so well, took a nice catch, took a couple of wickets as well in the first half of this match. Bats from the right side. They have a left-right combination opening with Chettipalayam hitting from the left. Barnwell over the wicket. Big cut in there, and it will go in as a wide, but Dinesh taking his hacks. Be interesting to see how the Yorkers approach this. As we said, it's a relatively low total. And we mentioned, we don't want to mention it ad nauseum, but again, it bears repeating that they were bowled out for 38 against the Philadelphians, chasing 51 back here on August 19th. Thumped that one into the pitch. Good ball by Barnwell. The required run rate at the start of this was 3.25. And if you're a batting team, if you're a batter, that's always a mouth-watering prospect. But on this pitch, anything is possible. Got him! Dragged on to the stumps, and Barnwell strikes early. Patel with trying to open up and belt that one, but he caught a thick edge, and it goes right down into the middle stump. And Christopher Barnwell has taken a wicket right away, and the Yorkers are 2 for 1 on 4 deliveries. Beautiful ball there. I was thinking as the ball bounced that this was a little shorter of a delivery and probably would have either grazed the bails going over or gone over completely. But Patel, just as we said, got an under edge to it. As we look at it again, a shorter delivery, a swipe there, and it goes right into the middle stump. So after 4 balls, the Manhattan Yorkers have already lost one of their openers. It's 2 for 1. How the New England Eagles have loved to have him back. Played for the Manhattan Yorkers and Empire State Titans each of the last 2 seasons. Only played 5 games for the Empire State Titans a season ago. But 28 wickets now in his minor league cricket career. Shashidhar comes in at number 3. Nirmith Shashidhar, right-handed batter. Boy, what a start. Yeah, you look at paper at a target of 65 and you think, man, that's pretty straightforward if you're the batting team, but that is why this league and this format is so good, because you can't assume anything. You really can't. Swipes at 1. May have made contact. No, he didn't. That will be given as a wide. So yet another interesting score line. 1 wide, dot, wicket, wide. And still 3 more deliveries in this over. Watches that one. A little shorter of a delivery. Hops over the bails. They're claiming there was a tip. And Mihir Patel not buying it, but all a loud and hearty appeal from all and sundry wearing the yellow and the purple, but Mihir Patel, the umpire, not giving it. We're taking a look at it again. Oh, that was awfully close. Awfully close. You see Barnwell and Dua vociferously appealing, but not given. And perhaps that would have been huge. 2 wickets in the first over. But interestingly enough, not given as a wide. So I'm curious as to whether or not there was deemed to not have given a not made contact, or whether or not it may have hit the ground just from our angle. But either way, it is still 3 for 1, and here's the final delivery of this first over. Yes, they got him again, I think. No, it's given as a wide. No, it was given as a wide. It looked like they were going for the stumping, and instead, as Barnwell turned around hoping to see a finger raised, all he saw was the umpire's arms outstretched as if he was going into a rendition of T for Temple U. Here it is again. Again, a good delivery here. It goes behind, but Dua going for the stumping and not getting it, and instead it is only a wide, and that is the 3rd wide surrendered by Barnwell in this over, which has been adventurous to say the least. This one chipped up in the air, but safe. There was an appeal perhaps for LBW, but that's not coming yet either. 9 balls were bowled in this over. 6 of them were legal. 4 for 1 after 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
It's an early breakthrough for Christopher Barnwell, his 4th wicket of the weekend, having taken 3 for 23 yesterday in Hatfield against the Philadelphians. And now it'll be Gaurav Grover who will take the ball. Grover coming off of a afternoon yesterday where he went 2 for 18. All 5 bowlers used yesterday against Philly: Barnwell, Maheshram, Burhan Saeed, Gaurav Grover, and Hemendra Ramdahal all took wickets. Of course, Ramdahal not in the lineup today. It'd be interesting to possibly ponder what would have happened had they had Ramdahal in the lineup, considering his prowess. Defended to the offside, no run. Grover left arm spinner going round the wicket. After top scoring with the bat with 18. Right back to Grover, but dropped right in front of him, and perhaps a little bit of wishful thinking in terms of the catch, but good ball from him. That one played to the offside, and the Manhattan Yorkers power play looking about as dry and dusty as the New England power play was. And that one is flicked off the legs, but right to a fielder. Back to Rizwan there. Now it is chipped and caught. Caught by Rizwan, right to him, and they have lost 2 players. They've lost both their openers within the first 2 overs. My goodness gracious, what bowling by New England. And the collapse might be on early. That one straight into the hands of Rizwan. And Manhattan now, after 11 balls in their reply, are 4 for 2. This one chipped up in on the legs, right down his throat. And Rizwan makes absolutely no mistake there. And you're going to see both the strike and the catch right there in your camera. And my goodness, things have gotten off to a very, very hot pace here defensively for New England. Manhattan 4 for 2. Hiran Patel, the wicketkeeper, in at number 4. And I don't know that in their wildest dreams the Manhattan Yorkers would have thought about who would be coming in at number 4 still in the second over, but yet here we are. They still require 61 runs off 109 balls, but this river has become rapidy very quickly. And Grover still has 1 more. And he is still yet to allow a run in this spell. Dua making some last-minute adjustments to his field, putting a couple of slips in place. Final ball of the second over. Ooh, just brushed by the off stump. A wicket maiden for Gaurav Grover. And after 2, chasing 65, Manhattan are 4 for 2. Shashidhar will take the strike now, as Barnwell continues, and that is fisted off to the offside. No run. And we mentioned the impact of Christopher Barnwell wasn't felt in the crease batting today, as he was bowled by Manoj Acharya for 1. And the arrow through the hands of the man there. It's short, fine. Amit Patil saw it go in and his hands is out of him, and that one is put down. Good reaction, you must say, just to get to the ball, but unfortunately it just squirted through his hands like a greased peach. If it was a rugby ball or an Aussie rules football, I'd say a greased watermelon, but they do get a run off of that, and so Shashidhar is off the mark. And here in Patel, the wicketkeeper, comes the strike. That one sails by the off stump, but a little bit too far outside the off stump for a wide. And Barnwell has been pretty wild, actually, in his so far in his innings, as you see the catch once again. That is the 4th wide conceded by Christopher Barnwell. And again, that one sails by, but this time a little bit closer to the off stump. And you see the one trend that this pitch has offered here is that the ball is keeping very, very low. It is not, it's almost like a complete 180 of the pitch that the Eagles played against the Philadelphians in Hatfield, PA at Clements Park yesterday, where it was an AstroTurf pitch. Just by the edge of Patel, of Hiran Patel, and into the arms of Dua. 2 balls left in this 3rd over. Manhattan again chasing 65. And what this means, the Yorkers with only 1 win so far this season, steps in and pounds this one to the offside. No run. And good bowling again from Christopher Barnwell. 4 of his 6 runs, though, have been off of wides. There was one where they thought he may have caught leg. They were appealing vociferously, as we said, for leg before wicket. Steps in, half-hearted appeal by Christopher Barnwell as it hit the top of the bat and then his arm. And there is no run. After 3, Manhattan are 6 for 2.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Gaurav Grover to continue. After a wicket maiden to open up his morning, now afternoon, here in Princeton Junction. We're about an hour or so drive from downtown Philadelphia, maybe about a good 20 minutes from Trenton, and not terribly far from Princeton, the university town, in case you're not terribly familiar with the East Coast geography. Lovely day, a little warm, some cloud cover. Big swing and a miss. And Grover maybe hoping for a thin top edge, but didn't come. Looping ball, LBW appeal, no. LBW appeal that may have been going down leg, I think. But, again, the umpire says no. We'll take a look at it again. Psych. So it remains 6 for 2. Gaurav Grover still has yet to allow a run. For Barnwell, oh. Good job once again. I was going to mention that Barnwell, going back to Christopher Barnwell very quickly, he took 15 wickets that first season, that championship season, as Lenny Echibar and I were talking about yesterday. And he has really changed the complexion of this Eagles side. Another dot ball. Dua changing the field, going now, once again, Rizwan going in almost at a silly point, chopped into the ground. Rizwan fields. That's about where he was when he took the catch. And again, defended to the offside. A second maiden for Gaurav Grover. They are choking the Manhattan Yorkers here. After 4, they are 6 for 2.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
All right, so Christopher Barnwell will continue now. Not terribly common to see bowlers bowl 3 overs in a spell in T20. But perhaps with his pace, put the pressure on the 2 men in the middle, as Hiran Patel still looking for his first run and Shashidhar still on 1, having faced 11. That grand final run for the Manhattan Yorkers, 15 wickets at an economy rate of 6.62 for Christopher Barnwell in 2021. That one is dabbed down to the offside, and Hiran Patel will get off the mark finally. Good stuff from Christopher Barnwell. "36 years of age, Christopher Barnwell, West Indian product. A bouncer, got a thick top edge to it, but thankfully for Shashidhar, it had bounced kind of harmlessly to the offside. Originally from St. Cuthbert's Mission in Guyana. He'll turn 37 in January. Played 6 T20 internationals for the West Indies. 61 first-class matches. Again, a bouncer. This one is fisted to the onside. And seemed like half the team was scrambling over to prevent more than 1 run from being taken. So Shashidhar goes to 2 off of 13 deliveries. Still 2 balls left in this 4th over. And I mean, let's look at where the 2 teams were. At the end of the 5th over, New England were 16 for 2. And with 2 balls left, that one is cut by Hiran Patel, and another dot ball. Manhattan still 8 runs short of where the Eagles were at the 5 over mark, and they were 20 for 3 were the Eagles at the end of the power play. So this pitch working all sorts of witchcraft on the batting sides here today. As the wind is picking up, this is the strongest it's been. It's actually blowing right through our commentary position. And it's been all hands on deck to keep us under cover. Bounces, loopy bouncer over the, and hops over the bat of Hiran Patel. 5 in the books, chasing 65. Manhattan are 8 for 2. Gaurav Grover, who's been bowling like a man possessed so far, has yet to concede a run in his first 2 overs and has picked up a wicket. In fact, it was Chetapalliam. And still no penetration of the New England infield. Looking at Grover's numbers here in just a moment for you. And it's the first year that I believe this is his first year in minor league cricket. Or at least the first year we have statistics for him. He now has 9 wickets. More of a lengthy ball, and that one is defended by Shashidhar. Opens up the face of the bat, but straight to a fielder. And looks for the catch. And no, it did just get by the fielder, and there is the first run conceded by Gaurav Grover. It took 17 balls to do so, but still tidy over. And could it be possible that the Manhattan Yorkers will end the power play on single digits? They have not, apparently, still not figured out how to play this pitch yet. And from people who were here last time, it was definitely, just hearing about it, it was definitely rough to play on, and it's showing its skin here. Stumping attempt, but Patel had not moved his feet. So the power play is done, and quite inexplicably, we'll try to pronounce that on the break, Manhattan 9 for 2 after 6.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So here is Saeed now into the attack for New England. Took a couple of wickets yesterday, 2 for 40. He was perhaps a bit expensive, but he did end up taking a couple of key wickets, including Prashad and bowling Ryan Scott. That was the big fish. Ryan Scott, such an important member of the Philadelphians in his first season with the team from Pennsylvania. But a bit of pace incoming now from Saeed, as the Manhattan Yorkers have had no answers so far, with both of their openers back in the tent having amassed just 1 run between the two. Patel bowled for a duck on his second ball by Barnwell, and then Chetapalliam holing out to Rizwan Mazhar for 1 on his 6th ball. Here's Saeed. thought there may have been a feathered edge, and there wasn't. Thought there may have been a feathered edge. Wasn't even given as a wide either, which was interesting. But here Patel, our umpire, says no. The wind again picking up here. Perhaps welcome to the 13, check that, 15 men standing in the field. Look at me do math. He opens one up and slashes this one down the ground, but only far enough for one, and then he realized he had to get back, did the man in Shashidar, and he had to scurry back in a hurry, but now they finally get to double digits after 26 deliveries. They still require 55 more. Bouncer off the fist by Hiran Patel. It'll come through for a single. We said there are a ton of games going on today all across the U.S. This is the only Eastern Division game. There's a lot of matches happening in the Southern Division and in the Central Division. There's a couple happening out west. This is one of 4 games currently on at the moment. Stepping down, bat then pad, and a perfunctory underarm bowl, a literal bowl at the stumps by Saeed. The other matches on the Dafa News out-of-town scoreboard, the Baltimore Royals, that score has not moved in some time, so I'm curious. No, it is. They were 116 for 8 against Fort Lauderdale, who are 10 without loss after 3 in their reply. The Chicago Tigers 118 for 9 against the Dallas Exforia Giants. And that one is turned around to fine leg, and they come through for another single. So 12 for 2 with 1 ball left off the side over. And then the Orlando Galaxy playing the Atlanta Lightning. That match just underway. The Galaxy have been eliminated, the first team eliminated from playoff contention with an 0-7 record. The Lightning trying to keep pace with things in the South Division. The other games happening, we'll get to them in just a moment, but there are other matches happening later this afternoon. Cut away. But it's going to be close coming back. Did he get back? Yes, he did. Well, he thought about it, but saw that there was no chance for a run. And so after 7, the Manhattan Yorkers chasing 65, still just 12 for 2.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Tawari will come into the attack for the first time. And Tawari yesterday not amongst the bowlers, so this will be the first time this weekend that he will have the ball. Samarth Tawari. Just a reminder, if you want to follow all the happenings of minor league cricket, visit our website at minorleaguecricket.com. For real-time statistics, you can go to crickclubs.com/MILC, and of course, follow MIL Cricket on all social media to stay in tune with what is happening as we come down the stretch. Play to the offside and right by the drawn-in fielder. They'll come through for a run as Shashidar now goes to 5 off of 23 deliveries. Been very patient endeavor by Nurmith Shashidar. Oh, did get a thick edge, it seems like, but off the glove of Dua. He throws his head back because he knows that was a bit of a put-down opportunity. Just to finish the thought, we were talking about all the other matches that were happening. Still later on today, the Dallas Mustangs facing the Chicago Kingsmen. And then out west, the SoCal Lashings and the Seattle Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, the defending champions, 2-5. Big looping ball by Tawari is guided to short long off. Another run. And then the remaining games down south. St. Louis and Lone Star, Michigan and Houston, Morrisville and Atlanta, the Atlanta Fire, and San Diego and Golden State Grizzlies. So lots of cricket here on the MLC Network. Hope you'll join us and make a day out of it. Shashidar opens up his stance and slaps that to the offside. They'll take a run. And right now, this is gearing up to be, if not the biggest over, it's definitely up there. The biggest over so far has been the first, when Barnwell gave up 4 but 3 wides in that over. That also saw the first wicket taken. Again, opening up the stance and then realizing that the ball was going to bounce away from off stump. So 1 ball left in this 8th over, with the Manhattan Yorkers requiring 50 runs from the final 73 balls. Big swing and a miss, no contact, and that will do it for the 8th over. Manhattan requiring 50 more, are 15 for 2. So Manhattan, we mentioned that at the start of this innings that their optimal run rate, or their required run rate, would be 3.25. They're going along at a clip of 1.88. And the required run rate has snuck up over 4.17. And it will be Saeed to continue. And he will do so from the road end. Bottom, right through the gate. Shashidar had the notion, he thought he was going to go downtown, but a great ball by Saeed. Absolutely clean bowled, and Manhattan have lost their 3rd in the 9th over. And they are 15 for 3. Beautiful ball by Saeed, and we were curious heading into this weekend, like how he was going to do. He was very expensive yesterday, despite picking up those 2 wickets. He was 2 for 40. And there it is, bouncing away, taking out middle stump. And that is the end of Nimr Shashidar, who goes for 6 off of 25 balls. Manhattan 15 for 3. Hiram Shallow will come to the crease now at number 5. And this is his 3rd appearance and has gone for scores of 17 and 10, one of them not out. But what a bowling performance this has been. Two batters have been bowled. One by Barnwell. That was Dinesh Patel in the first over. And now Shashidhar, who goes, as we said, for 6. And he has been the top scorer so far. And the second top scorer has been the extras column with 5. Shallow bats from the right side. And here is Saeed to continue his pace from the road end. Sails by and just gets by Dua, but not far enough to where he can advance. And you can tell by his helmet, Hiram Shallow from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That one is brushed aside to the offside, but not far enough to get a run. Six teams in this Eastern Division. The top 3 will advance to the playoffs, which begin the weekend of the 23rd of September. The winner of the Eastern Division will get a bye into the division finals. The second and third place team will play each other. Now, that is unofficial. That is what we're guessing. And the other part is that we're guessing is that the winners of each division will go to the conference semifinal at a location TBD. Defended and pushed forward, but not far enough to score. So still no runs allowed by Saeed. And if I had to bet, I would say that the minor league cricket finals will be at Grand Prairie Stadium, which, of course, is coming off a successful run hosting Major League Cricket back in July. That will be on my bucket list to go and check out that magnificent ground that has been so many years in the making. That one is up in the air. It's looped behind and safe. They're going to get 1, think about 2, but not far enough. And this outfield, which tends to thicken, it seems like a little bit the further away you get from the pitch, perhaps takes a run away from Hiram Shallow. That is the first run conceded by Saeed in this over, 3rd of the match, and this his 2nd. The run rate trickling down, still at 1.81. That one is cut away, but not far enough. Saeed gives up 1. However, he does take the wicket of Shashidhar. At the end of 9, Manhattan Yorkers chasing 65. They're 16 for 3.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Brian Barish back here at Mercer Park with you, the New England Eagles and the Manhattan Yorkers. And this one has popped up high in the air. There's a man there waiting. He drops it. Oh, my goodness. Perhaps lost that one in the sun. And he's going to want that one back, is Malapalli. Right through his hands, and he isn't going to want to see it again, but here it is again, as this one cut away to the offside, high up in the air, and, yep, just pulled his hands apart maybe a little too early. And a reprieve for the Manhattan Yorkers. Shallow drives that one to the offside. They'll come through for a single. So they got 2 off of that, and now now a 1 as Tawari is back in the attack now. And what will that mean? What kind of life has that given to Hiram Shallow? Right back to him. Good stop by Tawari. Of course, the Manhattan Yorkers, a team that, as we said, won the Atlantic Conference in 2021, finished 4th, didn't even make it to the playoffs last season. Watches that one scrape by the off stump. Umpire Samuels says, "I'll have 2, please." Saying there's 2 balls left, of course. Yorkers need 46 off of 64. As Samarth continues over the wicket. That one bounced up and over. Good ball by Samarth. Just using the turn. And it's interesting to see how some of these balls, I feel like it kind of, the spin is magnified. The bouncers have been magnified, but also the ones that have kept lower to the pitch have been magnified as well. So it's been very, very difficult for the batters on both sides today. Waits on that one and just cuddles that one to the offside. And that's the end of the 10th over. Wow, at the midway point, Manhattan can only muster 19 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Saeed returns for his 3rd over. Hiram Shallow and Hiran Patel. Patel having faced 21 balls for just 3 runs, and it has been a very difficult ask for the men who have been standing in the crease on this hot afternoon here in New Jersey. Defended off the legs by Shallow. No run. Hear him playing cricket out in Pittsburgh earlier in his career. Full toss is dispatched through the left side, through the onside, and they'll come through for a single. Saeed has been known to be a little bit wild with some of his deliveries, but from what I have seen in the past 2 days, I haven't seen any of that. I think, in spite of the fact that the batters have tagged him a bit yesterday, he's been pretty tidy with his deliveries. 45 required now for the Yorkers. Driven back down the ground. It's going to be a field and a quick chance, but Hiran Patel was able to get back in plenty of time. He goes to 4 off of 22. Manhattan now 21 for 3, halfway through this 11th over. Going to be a busy week next weekend here in the Atlantic region. In terms of matches played. Again, almost hit to the same spot by Shallow, but this time not further enough to score a run. Here in this Eastern Division, we mentioned the Yorkers and the Titans will play on Saturday afternoon. That's a 3 o'clock start. That's next Saturday, the 9th. And the Titans and the Philadelphians on Sunday morning, followed by the Yorkers and the Eagles. That's on Sunday, the 10th. And the Philadelphians and the Eagles will play on Monday as well. Brushed aside by Shallow, and they will scamper through for another run. Third run of the over conceded by Saeed. And then next weekend, the big finale, or the weekend after, the 16th, the big finale. Here at Mercer County, it'll be the Manhattan Yorkers and New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, followed by the Philadelphians and New Jersey Stallions. Up in Glenville and Schenectady, New York, it'll be the Empire State Titans and New England Eagles. And then Sunday, you'll have the New Jersey Stallions and Manhattan Yorkers here, followed by the Eagles and Titans up in Glenville, and the Somerset Cavaliers and Philadelphians back here, as that one is hit beyond point to backwards point and no run there. So that is the end of the 11th over. 3 from it. Manhattan chasing 65. They're 22 for 3. So 43 remaining from the required remaining from the 54 remaining balls is what I meant to say. And Tawari has the ball again, bowling from the dog park end. And we say that, and I heard some dogs barking earlier on, and I thought it was somebody's ringtone, but then I turned around and realized, oh yeah, there's a dog park there. Tawari just 6 runs in his first 2 overs. That one is high in the air, but gone for 6. And the fielder there just timing the ball, but then realized that the last minute was over his head, and that is the first boundary of any sort here in this innings for the Manhattan Yorkers. And it has gone for a 6, just barely clearing the rope and the hands of Anit Patil. And to the same spot again, but the same result. Back-to-back jacks for Hiram Shallow, and he, all of the sudden, this is the biggest over of the innings for the Manhattan Yorkers, and they all of a sudden have now rocketed the 34 for 3, and they only require now 31 runs. I think he got tired of waiting around for it, and he sat back on 2 deliveries from Tawari. We take a look at that stroke, and here he is. He goes again, and it's 3 in a row. Whoa. It has set all sorts of things happening here at Mercer Park. But Shallow went right down the track and busted a 6 right back towards us. Wow. That has changed the complexion of the game with 3 swings of the old bat. And they now require 25 off of 50. And the required run rate is now down at 3. Take a bow, Hiram Shallow. And he all the way is at the 24. And he is the highest scorer of the day for either team now. Tawari, who we said didn't bowl yesterday, and as we said, did pretty well. He had only given up 6 runs in his first 2 overs, and he has been taken to the laundry by Hiram Shallow. And he thought about doing it again, but the ball bounces wide, and there will be no 4 in a row for Shallow. But this has changed things completely, and all of a sudden the run rate is now at 3.38, and they are ahead of the required. Final ball of this over. Waits on it, swing, and it goes behind. It gets by the bowler, gets by the wicketkeeper, beg your pardon. And that will be given as a leg by, so he won't get credit for that. But what an over. 19 off the over for the Manhattan New Yorkers, and now they are in much better shape. They require 25. They are 41 for 3 after 12.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So the Manhattan New Yorkers, who were crawling along like a slug on a hot summer's day sidewalk, have now all of a sudden, thanks to that man Shallow, have gone to 41 for 3. And Gaurav Grover, who has allowed just 1 run in 3 overs of work, now has to do damage control here. 24 runs required now off of 47 balls. Shorter delivery. Play to the offside by Grover. 3 sixes in that over. Opens up the face of the bat and slaps that to the offside. And he'll come through for a single. Grover now goes to 25, or rather Shallow goes to 25 off of 19. 42 for 3. We said these two teams will meet again next week right back here at Mercer Park. Hiran Patel steers that one off his legs, and they'll come through for another run. 23 off of 45 required now. Top ball there. Last ball of the over coming up. And then we'll show you the magnificence that was Hiram Shallow's 18-run over. Carved away to the offside. Here it is again in all its magnificent glory. This first one off the bat, Anand Patil, I thought, had a pretty decent ball beat on it until the end. But then he comes back and hits this one in the exact same spot and makes absolutely there's no doubt on that one. It was hit maybe about another 3 or 4 feet back. And then this one driven down the ground and almost took us out in the process. 13 complete. The Manhattan Yorkers need 22. They're 43 for 3. So Tawari will finish off his spell today, and he gives up another run as that one is cut away by Hiran Patel, who now goes to 6. And Manhattan now requiring 21 runs from the final 41 balls. So Grover's day is done. 1 for 3 for Gaurav Grover, including 2 maidens, including one of them being a wicket maiden. Great day for him, and now the question is can the rest of the team rally around it and bring home a win? Oh, played softly, and that one may have been dropped by the one slip that they have there in place. The Eagles have only used 4 bowlers so far, so it'll be interesting to see who they grab to use the other 2 players, 1 or 2 players they grab to finish out the death overs. Cut away, but right to a fielder. Nice stop there at backward point. In fact, it was Azhar Ali who made the stop. Halfway through this Tiwari over. Again, cut away, and again Ali will come in. And now that massive over seems like a distant memory as Grover has come back and only surrendered 2, and Tiwari has now surrendered 1. But there's still 2 balls left. Again, Shallow goes for the cut shot, and again, Ali is there to defend. 1 ball left. 21 required off of 37. And based on the run rate equations, it's about even Stevens. Last ball from Tiwari. LBW appeal, but umpire Lawrence Samuels says no. New England, rather Manhattan, require 21 from the final 36. They're 44 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Apurva Maheshram will make his entrance here, bowling for the first time. And Maheshram bowling yesterday in Philadelphia, 1 for 35 from his 4 overs. He did bowl 5 wides. And he is. No, as we saw, I think that may have been. Or was he bowled? Yes, Hiran Patel is walking. He was bowled. And so what an entrance by Maheshram, who bowls Hiran Patel, who had a valiant stand. He faced 26 balls and scored just 6 runs, but Maheshram strikes. And there's another twist of the tail. It's a double Richie special. Manhattan 44 for 4. So Apurva Maheshram strikes with the very first ball. And this one, wow, 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 wow. What a delivery. And I think that may have been played onto the stumps. I think that's exactly what happened, but what a delivery. All sorts of turn on this pitch, and it was extracted very well by Apurva Maheshram. So they are 44 for 4. Now when his hit back through, as the new batter now is Deep Patel. But the equation, 21 required off of 34. Another good ball from Maheshram. If you take that 19-run over out of the mix, this game is not as close as it is now. A fuller delivery by Maheshram is defended by Deep Patel. The man standing on the other side there. Hear him shallow. 25 off of 26, including those 3 rip-roaring sixes. Steps forward and defends into the legs. And Maheshram, 1 ball away from a wicket maiden, perhaps. The required run rate shooting back up. Big shot by Deep Patel. It's going to roll. Is it going to go all the way? No, it's going to be stopped by a man out there. They're going to get 1 run out of that. So a little bit of the commentator's curse. He doesn't get the wicket maiden. He does, however, get the wicket for the loss of 1 run. And with exactly 30 balls remaining, Manhattan requires 20 to win. So we enter the death overs now, the final 5. And can the Manhattan Yorkers get the required 20 runs in that time, or will the New England Eagles pinch a victory here? Amit Patil gets the ball for the first time. And he did not bowl yesterday, so we'll see him for the first time this weekend. Again, we hope if you're near any of the 26 minor league cricket clubs that you'll come out and support the sides here as we get the last couple of weeks of the regular season. And the bespectacled Amit Patil, man who wears glasses on the field, a man after my own heart. This one is driven back down the ground. This one's going to come right at us. Ooh, hey. Well, I didn't realize I was going to be playing a part in this, but thanks, boys. But more importantly, there's a 4 off the bat of Deep Patel. And he goes on the 5, and that takes a nice chunk off the target. 16 now required from the last 29. Yeah, right through us. Should get a prize for that. That is a full toss and whack to the far side. And that one is going all the way to 6 out in the parking lot. Any closer to the dog park, and that might have been a chew toy. But 2 swings of the bat, and now it's down to 10 runs. Patil with a 4, Patil with a 6. Or rather, Patel. And all of a sudden, he's gone to 11 off of 7. And Amit Patil, who, as we said, this is his first bowling action of the weekend. And he has been greeted vociferously. He opens back, and he goes to Patel, trying to get it out, trying to catch Shallow away, but Shallow was grounded back in his back at the non-striker's end. $10 to win off of 27. And watching it, how slow the worm had been crawling, you wouldn't know that you would be at this point. He had to hit that ball in self-defense, did Patel, and he will just get through for a single. Probably a little bit safer than appearances, but another run scratched out by Patel, who now goes to 12 off of 9. And here's the danger man. Here I'm Shallow. So now it is 9 required from 26. He plays out one short. No run. 1 ball left in the 16th over. It has not been as devastating as the 19-run spell, but it has made a difference. And Shallow has to play that one defensively back to the bowler. 11 runs off the over for the Manhattan Yorkers. They need 9 to win. After 16, they're 56 for 4.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Well, there appears to be a metaphorical fire burning, and who to try and put it out but the pace of Christopher Barnwell, who took out one of the openers in Shetapalliam in the first over off the second ball of the match. Deep Patel is able to steer his first one. 57 for 4, now just 8 required. And here are the 2 boundaries from that last over off the bat of Deep Patel. Firstly, sending this one right into your living room or wherever you're watching us. And then the second one pulled nicely on the onside. And that has brought the target a little bit closer as this one sails by the bat of Shallow. So 8 runs required off of now 22 balls. And the Yorkers looking for their second win of the season. It would draw them even with the New England Eagles. In fact, would create a 3-way tie for 4th. That one is hit well, but past the fielders. And that one's going to go all the way for 4. So here I'm Shallow, looking very, very close to perhaps a man-of-the-match performance. Put that on your DAFA News. And now they only need 4 to win. Any boundary will do it, and they have 21 balls to do it in. Lets that one go, hops over the stumps. Good leave by Shallow. Again, opening up the face of the bat to the offside there, and a couple of bounces and away. But can Shallow, who busted this game wide open with 3 sixes in that 1 over, can he be the man to bring home the points? That is cut away to the offside. It was stopped, but just got behind the fielder. It's going to stay in play. They're going to get 2 out of this. Shallow's going to retain the strike, but the game will continue as Hiram Shallow now goes to 31 off of 32. What a job by the Manhattan Yorkers here. First to keep the Eagles to 65, but then when it looked like they were going to, we're going to see a repeat of 38 all out, this happens. Fought off by Shallow. Is that going to do it? No, it is, but it's going to level the scores. Shallow goes on to 32 off of 33, and that will be the end of the over. He'll retrain to strike. The scores are level, 64 for 4 after 17.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So here we are. The Manhattan Yorkers have 18 balls to score 1 run. And Mahesh Ram, who did so well allowing just 1 run and taking the wicket in his 1 over, is going to have to do some Superman stuff. Shallow has to defend that one, got up off his toes to do so. What a job bowling as well. Rachir Joshi doing the job, 4 for 17. He's in there as well in terms of man of the match performance nominations. Opens this one up. If it hits the ground, the game is over, and the game is over. That's going to go as a 4, and Hiram Shallow has carried his team on his back to victory. He'll end with 36, and the Manhattan Yorkers have defeated the New England Eagles here at Mercer Park today. They have done so by 6 wickets with, let's do the math. What is that? 17 balls still remaining at the Manhattan Yorkers. Get their 2nd win of the season. They have created a 3-way tie for 4th in the Eastern Division. What a fight back by the Manhattan Yorkers after the New England Eagles. It looked like they had suffocated them. They had just 9 runs off the power play, but they come from behind and they hang on to the victory here. And again, they do so. The final margin of victory will be 6 wickets. But there is the story of the match on your screen. The Manhattan Yorkers, Hiram Shallow, the man from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with 33 runs off of 35 deliveries. Deep Patel with 13. A good bowling effort by the Eagles. A great job by Mahesh Ram, who gave up just 1. Gaurav Grover in 4 innings gave up 4 overs gave up 3 runs. And on the other side of the coin, for some great bowling by the Yorkers, Joshi, as we mentioned, 4 for 17. How about Dinesh Patel, 2 for 3 off of 2 overs? Great job by him. So a quick look at the standings. As we mentioned, the Philadelphians top of the table with 11 points. The New Jersey Stallions in 2nd with 10. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers in 3rd on 7. The Stallions and the Cavaliers have played 2 more games than everybody else. The New England Eagles, the Empire State Titans, and the Manhattan Yorkers are all on 4 points, and they all have 2 games in hand, and are all 3 points behind the Cavaliers for 3rd place in the Eastern standings of the Atlantic Conference. So once again, the story here, the Manhattan Yorkers defeat the New England Eagles by 6 wickets with 17 balls remaining. That's just going to about do it for us. A reminder, you can catch all the action. There's plenty of other games going on today and indeed tomorrow across minor league cricket, especially in the South and in the Central divisions, and also out west as well. You can do so right here on the MLC Network. Catch it all on minorleaguecricket.com. And, of course, on social media at MIL Cricket. More matches happening here at Mercer Park. Next week, there are 4 happening. 1 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday for you who either want to play hooky or take the day off. But once again, the Manhattan Yorkers victorious as they gain a split from the weekend. The Eagles drop 2, and perhaps their playoff hopes taking a bit of a dent. That's going to do it for everybody here who has brought to you today's match from Princeton Junction. This is Brian Barish wishing you a pleasant rest of your day and a good holiday. On this pitch, anything is possible. Got him! Dragged on to the now it is chipped and caught! Caught by Rizwan, right to him, and they have lost. Bottom! Right through the gate. Shashidar had the notion, he thought he was going to go. And this one has popped up high in the air. There's a man there waiting. He drops it! Oh my goodness. 2 overs. That one is high in the air. But gone for 6. And to the same spot again, but the same result. Back-to-back jacks. Stroke, and here he is. He goes again. And it's 3 in a row. Whoa, whoa. And he is... No, it's after my own heart. This one is driven back down the ground. This one's going to come right at us. Ooh, hey. She got a prize for that. That is a full toss and whack to the far side. And that one is going all the way to 6 out in the parking lot. That one is hit well, but past the fielders. And that one's going to go all the way for 4 nominations. Opens this one up. If it hits the ground, the game is over. And the game is over. That's going to go as a 4. And Hiram Shallow has...
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.